We have in Peacock a strategy, I'm sure we'll get into it a little more, that is a growth business for us. And we've also selling our Hulu stake. So we actually will have very little money net in streaming in terms of losses versus profits. So each company's different. Then we also have a broadband, the majority of the company that my dad started, Comcast Cable, now really a broadband connectivity business, Wi-Fi. If you were to go back 10 years and you said, let's design with you perfect knowledge of what the world looks like today, what would be a cool company? You would say, well, I'd like to connect everybody to what we're doing, whether it's in streaming or whether it's in AI or whether it's going to be in, whatever comes next, Zoom calls, working from home. And we have the nation's most connected broadband customers. We have a converged service with wireless and broadband in more homes than AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile combined. And a lot of that content, 100 million people every quarter coming to watch Today's Show, Tonight's Show, SNL, which is fabulous as always this year. And I don't know how Lorne Michaels can do it every time, but this being such an important year, what a great first two shows. And then film and television and the stories we have. And then, of course, sports. And I'm sure we'll talk a little about that as well. So I think we have a pretty great company. And I'm more excited. This will be our 60th year. My dad founded it. This will be, and last year was the most profitable year and the best year in company's history. And, we're about to do earnings, everything. We're going to have a great year this year by all the analysts' accounts, and maybe even the best year in the company's history are right there. And so why would you not be excited?
You brought up Peacock. I'm curious. How long until Peacock is really a profitable and sustainable business on its own?
Well, first of all, we don't look at it as on its own. So I'm not going to duck your question completely, but that's not how we're running the business. We're running it as part of the media business. So take the Olympics. 87% of the viewing was on NBC or one of our cable channels. 13% was on Peacock. But together, we presented to the consumer all those choices. Every event, every athlete, every country. Mike Tirico doing 2 primetime shows in a heroic fashion, hard to...
Yeah, we have the stats here. NBC Universal had the most viewership of any company, TV viewership at any company in August because of the Olympics.
We did it for 17 straight days. It's so hard to keep America's viewers' attention for more than 2 hours, let alone 17 days. So that was a whole company effort. And so to pick one part of the company and say, well, how's that part doing? Well, if your goal is to just be Netflix, that's a really important question. If your goal is to have a media company that, particularly in the United States, which is where most of our emphasis is to deliver sports, I think of, Bloomberg didn't have a print business, but I was chatting with some friends from the Wall Street Journal, and they had to go from a, quote, dying print business to a growing digital business. And New York Times had to do the same. And there's some people that didn't make it. USA Today may not quite get there. Philadelphia Inquirer, regional papers, tough business. We think NBC, we are going to get there, and Peacock is going to be part of how that happens. As more and more people cut the cord, more and more people will take Peacock.